Go.
Alright, so we're here in the women's bathroom at Greyland, and we read that you came far. You were born in Russia?
Yes.
And then you lived in Israel, and then Berlin. So, like, where do you call home? Do you have a home?
Everywhere. It's funny, I mean, I feel at home even at a place where I've only visited for the first time. If the people are warm and welcoming and make you feel comfortable. So I would say home is everywhere where there's friends.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And have you you've been traveling around the U.S., you said, you've been to lots and lots of places. Do you have, like, a sense, like, if you had to describe this country in a few words?
I would say that the American dream is broken
Oh, I would agree with that.
at this point in history.
And you see that.
Yeah, I mean, financially, the country is struggling. There's so many empty, vast spaces, abandoned houses, and unemployed people everywhere. And I hope that it's temporary. I hope that the community will rebuild itself and people will reach a level of being able to sort of have just enough food and pay the rent and have health insurance. Those things are very important, and it seems like at the moment it's not really working out for a lot of people.
Yeah, although maybe it's time we learned the lesson that a lot of people, a lot of other places, started to learn. I mean, we'll see. Don't worry too much about us. Let's get back to you. So we got to experience a really powerful, vulnerable performance tonight that everyone loved. And I was hoping you would talk just a little bit about performing and performance and performing as a woman, maybe if that's like something you feel comfortable as a category talking about.
I think I got a lot of training because I used to busk. And busking kind of puts you in a position where you're exposed to any sort of feedback.
Yeah.
Often negative, and I think you just learn to not care about it and just concentrate on doing your thing and not really worrying so much about what the people will think or say.
Yeah, so like visually you go through like a transformation or a couple transformations in your performance, and then also from song to song it seems like you're transforming yourself a lot.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, much more than most performers do.
Wow, thanks.
And so, like, are you looking to kind of like get something in particular out of your audience in those moments? Are you strategizing about like presenting yourself, or is it more just like I'm going to kind of do what comes to me?
It's an interesting question. I think I definitely try to get some sort of reaction of the audience. I mean, any sort of reaction, just as long as there is a reaction. Yeah, and I also get bored very easily, so I try not to kind of put two similar songs one after the other. But I feel like I have to keep trying new things, and I'm afraid to run out of new things to try. Hopefully it will not happen, but...
And that's from your busking days, like feeling that's... Because a lot of bands will just come and play and say, this is who I am, and take it or leave it, but it seems like it's, there's like kind of extra step that you're taking to really, I don't know, entertain? Is that like the wrong word?
Wow, I wish, I mean, I never thought that my show is entertaining. I thought maybe it's provoking, but I would definitely want to be entertaining. It's just that it sounds like it's such a big word.
Yeah. And you're all by yourself. Have you always played all alone?
I started with a band, and it just became easier to do like the thing by myself because I didn't have to rely on anyone. But at the moment, I also have a band with 2 drummers with a slightly different repertoire, and I hope we'll get an album recorded in the spring and see what happens. But it's so much more complicated to play with other people, just the logistics of organizing things.
And what, I mean, I don't want to say what's next because I feel like that's always like, what's next? But, so maybe I won't ask you that. Maybe I'll just ask you, like, what are you hoping for out of what you're doing? Like, if you were to think kind of longer term, like, what is your hope? What do you see?
I hope that things will get a little bit less difficult because I feel like I'm still at the stage where I have to constantly battle against windmills. It's really unbelievably difficult. It seems like the doors just wouldn't open. Like anything bigger, like any sort of like people from the actual industry would just never accept what I do, and it just feels like I have to keep doing everything outside of the industry with like all of the colleagues and friends and just everyone that would help, that just wants to help, but never like the people that sort of have more power or more connections or more. So I hope that there will be some people that will finally take what I do seriously. But it's a very long process.
Well, on that note, we just want to say thank you so much for coming to Youngstown, and we're super excited that you performed for us tonight, and we wish you happy travels.
Well, thanks so much. It was a wonderful audience. Thank you.
Thank you.